Hello, everyone. Welcome to Financeology 101. Class is now in session. The information provided during this podcast is just that information. You will need to do further research to address your specific situation. Enjoy the session. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another session of Gifted Generations Presents Financeology 101. I'm one of your hosts, Robin Seegers, and the other host is my husband, Elroy
Elroy
Seegers.
Seegers.
So it's been a minute. We took the summer off, we had a little break, and now it's back to business. So we wanted to talk about empty nesters. And I guess this is near and dear to us because we're officially empty nesters.
Yes, we are.
And
Woohoo!
over the summer, we had the pleasure of having both our sons here.
Yes,
And then by August, both our sons were off on their own.
yes.
Now, now we were full empty nesters before because our youngest son is active duty military overseas. So he came home for 30 days to spend time with us. Our oldest son, he was living here. However, he was like a roommate because we never saw him. He worked a lot of long hours.
Yes.
So it was like he wasn't even here.
Yeah, yeah.
But he was blessed to go off to another state for a new job. So now they're both off officially doing their own thing. So that's why we're starting our fall session off with empty nesters because that's what we are officially right now, and it's wonderful.
Yep. So basically, this was like embracing the empty nesting, or just being able to understand it, or just like I said, embracing it. So one thing that we've always done is, and this is kind of gonna be, I can say, it's kind of strange for us to talk about because we've done a lot of these things. Not strange, but it's reinforcing what we talked about because we've actually done these things. When I read a lot of these things, the points and stuff, it actually says reflect on your journey. Acknowledge the emotional journey of raising children and the transition to become an empty nester. And one thing that Robin and I have always done, we try to make sure we tell our kids, don't, because empty nesters impacts us and them, so we want to make sure that we was living our lifestyle as though they was already gone, but they were still here. All right. So we were doing things like, yeah, we see you when you would come home, but we're gonna pretend like we are not here. We just gonna embrace you like a roommate type thing. So, Robbie, you want to add to that? When we just keep on going.
Well, yeah, we you have to be aware that don't wait to spend time with your spouse once the kids are gone. Say once the kids are gone, we're gonna do this and that. No, it's got to start when they start getting to the point in their lives where they're old enough to take care of themselves. And you can go out on dates or go over overnight trips and they will be fine by yourself. You have to do that before. You have to connect before because if you wait till after they're gone, it's like y'all are two strangers.
So she just talked about redefining your identity. That was the
Hmm.
topic. It says explore new hobbies, interests, and passions without the constant focus on childcare or children. So it says explore new hobbies, but you also got to expand on old hobbies. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You can't wait till they're gone before you figure things out. I like to cycle. I like to. We both like to work out. We both like to travel. So we were doing those things while he was here, and then now that they're gone, it's like saying we can continue that's those same kinds of
Hmm.
engagements. The next
Right.
thing is I think is very important is to strengthen your relationship. Invest quality time with your partner and deepen your connection. So, like I was saying before, we like traveling. We was traveling with friends, and we decided, okay, this next time let's just travel by ourselves. Where we can just focus on ourselves. Because a lot of times when you're traveling with other folks and your kids, you do make it more like a group effort. But when you're just traveling, just you and your loved one, you're focusing on just y'all's interaction and just reconnecting. So I think that's very important to make sure that you have that connection as you move forward. But like I said, you don't want to start it later on because it's like saying, "Who is a stranger in front of me?" And you might not like what you're seeing. So you want to try and get that those things going well before.
Mm-hmm.
Rob, you can interject anything you want to also. It says
Okay.
reconnect with friends, rekindle old friendships, or make new ones. We were doing that too. We was making, we didn't rekindle old ones. We just make sure we was aware of them. So if we wanted to do things with them, we could. But we definitely created new friendships during this time of, we'll call it our long period of transition. And I believe it or not, I think the transition period starts, believe it or not, when the kids get in high school. Their last one gets in high school because that's 4 years before they move on. Before they move on to college, they might want to move out. You know, that's a good time to start saying, let me take this slowly because this person's gonna be gone. I'm gonna wake up and the person in front of me is just gonna be me or my husband or my wife. And you were like, I don't like what's going on. I don't like what I'm feeling. And that can do more damage than good if you don't understand the emotional. It can be traumatic when kids leave. I really like this one right here. Travel and explore. Take advantage of newfound freedom to travel and experience new adventures. Like I said before, me and Robin was doing that while he was here. We took our kids on wild trips. But, last few years we've been doing our own trips just for me and my wife or me and some friends. We've been doing international trips, national trips. We want to make sure that we understood, this phase of our life is something that we want to embrace well before it was time to embrace it officially. Right? Because believe it or not, we didn't have a time frame for our oldest child to move out. We just know eventually it was going to happen. So, but us not having a date, we just knew, okay, let's just go ahead and start doing these things now. If we would have said in 2028 you're moving out, okay, we got a date. We didn't know a date. So when he told us he was leaving, we was like, cool. We was happy for him, but also for ourselves too. And this is another one we are very passionate about: volunteering and giving back. Find meaningful ways to contribute to your community and make a positive impact. We volunteer in church a lot. We love to work for the community when it comes to our church services. So we give back in that measurement. That has not changed. That has not altered. So as I was saying, a lot of these things we started embracing and started doing well before the empty nesting started, right? And the other time it says embrace self-care, prioritize your physical and mental well-being through exercise and relaxation and hobbies. We do that. My wife works out she gets up before the crack of the morning, before the sun even rise. And I like to do mine more or less towards the evening and stuff. But we've been doing those kind of things. So we like to exercise. We relax by what we do. We sit in the evening. Sometimes we watch movies. We record movies and watch movies. That's our way to not to reconnect, but to continue to be connected. Hobbies. I like to cycle. So my wife likes to listen to those shows on not shows, but things on the internet that go through life situations with family and stuff. She like listening to those things. That's something she enjoys doing, and get a lot of great points for those kind of things too. And the last one in the embrace the empty nesting is maintain connection with your children. Stay involved in their lives through regular communication visits. Well, my boys text my wife a lot, in the mornings and the evening. One's overseas, in Japan, so once a week. The other one may do it more regularly. So there's a constant connection, and I may not do it as much. I get them maybe intermittently. May do it less. But I do find this out. The youngest one who left a long time ago, that one was great for him, and so you start to grow and get used to them being gone. The oldest one left recently. He's like saying, so used to this boy being in the house. It's a different change. So the last one that leaves, it's going to be more of an impact because there's no one there besides you two. So you may
Right.
find that a little bit more of a transitioning than one leaving and one staying, regardless of age. Does not
Right.
matter.
Right.
Anything you want to talk about that? Say about that, Ron?
No, I totally agree. Definitely always check in with your kids, see, make sure they okay. We always let them know that anything they need to contact us, anything they want to talk about, contact us. We don't just say go out there and leave us alone. No, it's like stay connected. We make sure they stay connected as brothers, make sure
Right.
they contact each other, and
Yep.
then we contact them and they contact us. So we stay connected. We may not be physically together, but through technology, we stay connected and always leave that door open that
Yep.
anything you need, anything you want to talk about, I don't care what time of day it is,
Right.
call, text, whatever you need to do, because we want them to know that even though they're on their own, we're still here for them.
Yep. And for those who are sending the kid out to college, that first semester when they come back, and you're gonna say, "Who is this child?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to tell you, it's gonna take 3 months. You can be like, "I do not recognize this person." You're gonna love to see them, but you also love to see them go because you're
Mm-hmm.
getting so used to them not being around because they're realizing they're embracing their lives. They
Mm-hmm.
are also becoming empty nesters. Think about it. The empty nester starts with them too because they're no longer under their moms and dad's jurisdiction. So it works both ways, you know.
Right.
The next topic is travel and explore. We've talked about that already a lot. It says plan your dream vacations. You know, research destinations that have always intrigued you and create interest in things you want to align with your interests. We love to travel, so we do as much as we can when we can. Sometimes they're elaborate, sometimes they're small one. We just celebrated our 35th anniversary, and we had a 14-day stay in California and Hawaii. We did 2 days in Hawaii, visiting my friend Michelle
Oh, two
Davis.
days in LA,
I'm sorry, two
maybe
days.
2 days.
I'm sorry, 2 days in LA, and we did that because we wanted to break it up. We want to have a 6-day, 6-hour transition period. So we spent 2 days in LA, spent time with Michelle Davis Lassiter in California. Then we had 10 days in Hawaii, and then coming back, we spent 2 more days in LA, spending time with her, and then we flew home. So we had a 14-day, 35th anniversary stay, and it was great. We got a chance to lay around. We got to do some island hopping. So it was our chance to explore some of the dreams that we wanted to do, you know, as far as the celebration. So to us, it was like saying, this is big for us, so let's just do it great. So we did it that way. It's kind of like our celebration for our 35th anniversary, my 60th year birthday, and just us celebrating our kids just doing well in society. All right. Next one it says take solo trips. I do that. You know, my wife and I, she does it when she wants to, if she could, and if she wanted to. I just took a trip to Atlanta for a biking stay called One Love. 1,800 biker riders and stuff. I go down with a friend. We go down there and travel. So you want to find your like things you have together, but also you want to make sure you don't lose your identity by not doing the things that you can do by yourself. If my wife wants to go out and shop with her friends, she wants to go on a trip, it's an opportunity for her to do those kind of things if she so chooses. But know that it's still there. Don't give that up because that is who you are. That is your identity of yourself, not just you and your husband, you and your wife. It says join group tours. You know, okay, I look at this as like hang around like-minded people. And it ain't gotta be so much for tour. Just being around people that you have the same interest in. Because as you become empty nesters, you want to make sure you have a common goal and things you like to do with. So someone likes to travel, someone like to knit. Well, what's the common goal in that? You know, like you're talking about traveling. Person, I don't like to travel. You're talking about knitting. I like to knit. So you want to have that common bond where you can have a like-minded. You can have those conversation things you want to do together as a group type stuff. Like I said, just travel and explore. Go on road trips. We'll jump in the car. We'll go to the beach in a heartbeat and come back in the same day. You want to make sure you explore that. You know, you want to make sure you can do different things as far as can be short. It always got to be 3 or 4 days. It can be just a day trip type thing. Volunteer abroad. You know, travel and go back to communities that's in need. You know, I like to work for one of the federal agencies will be volunteer time. We'll go out and support people who's been damaged by hurricanes and fire stuff like that. So those kind of things you can find interest in things you want to do. Another one says learn new language. I was trying to learn new language, Robin, but I think trying to learn my own language is tough enough sometimes. um, and then it says try new activities. You know, step outside your comfort zone, do new things, and then connect with nature. Well, we're thankful that we have a path behind our house, so we can always walk on the trail and just see the beautiful woods and enjoy just the environment. It's not always. It's like you have the city right here, but we also have the suburbs of trees and paths right behind our house. So to me, we get the best of both worlds. Anything you want to comment on that, Robin, before I move to the next topic, which is probably the best topic?
No, that I mean you hit every point, so no, that's good.
So this one I love. Financial planning for empty nesters. I'm pretty sure my wife is going to chime in on this one. First
Hmm.
thing you got to do is review your budget. Assess your income and expenses to determine how your financial situation may change without child related costs. Now, some may say, well, my child was an adult. How much of a cost was that? Well, it could be AAU, school events, them just traveling with you doing certain things, the cost of going to college, uh, that was no longer going to be there. You know, that's going to be something that's going to be removed from your responsibility because it's now going to say, okay, you know, you get your own apartment, you know, you get your own thing. So you want to review your budget and see how much you're either going to gain or lose from the kids moving out type stuff. You might want to say, well, guess what? I no longer have to pay for traveling. And not only that, here's a big thing I've learned: your water bill is gonna go down, your light bill is gonna go down, and your food bill is gonna go down.
All
Three
right,
big
now,
impacts.
and don't get too excited about all the extra money you're gonna have,
Yeah, it's
because
coming.
then that could lead to overspending.
Yep.
So give thought to what you're spending we're gonna put in quotes extra
Yep.
money, because money is never really extra. It can be
Yep.
assigned to
Yep.
something.
Yes, sign.
So give thought to what you're spending that money on, and
Mm-hmm.
make sure what you're spending it on has some kind of value.
Yep.
It adds value somewhere in your life. So
Yep.
just don't get excited with this extra money you have. Just make sure you reassign it, and make sure you're using it wisely.
Amen to that. It says consider downsizing your house. If your home is larger than you need it, explore the possibility of downsizing to reduce housing costs. You have a 5 bedroom house or 4 bedroom house, and it's just you and your wife. You might want to say, well, let's downsize to a 3 bedroom. Let's downsize to a condo. We ain't got to do grass. So those are all things you can consider. Not saying you have to do them. It's just like think about them if you want to, maybe save some money in the long term. You never know. Now, that's totally up to the individual person how they want to do those kind of things. It's just things that you can consider doing in the long term.
Also, downsize regarding extra items, tangible items you may have in the
Mm-hmm.
house that you no longer need, because that your child is has gone to their own place. Now they
Mm-hmm.
done left all this extra stuff, extra.
Mm-hmm. Oh my
You
gosh,
got
yes.
extra furniture. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is, donate it to charity, or have a yard sale and start
Mm-hmm.
getting rid of stuff. So that's also part of
Purge, purge.
downsizing. Yeah, start purging.
Here's an important one. You know, if you're just talking about extra money, there's no extra money. Invest for retirement. Maximizing your retirement savings contribution to ensure a comfortable financial future. You may not be able to give before, or you was giving a small amount. That money that you're recouping, my wife was talking about, as far as you got extra money, you can reallocate that money to there. So if you was giving nothing, you can start giving something. If you was giving a little bit, you can give more. Because you'll probably be in a group where you can do makeup contributions for your 401k and stuff like that. Or you may want to start your own RIA, your own thing outside of your business, if your company, if they're not offering those things. So this is a chance to say, let me do something with my money by planning for the future. I made a quote on here. Let me see. I gotta find this quote right now. I wrote it to myself, and I was like, "Oh, I like this quote." And the quote says here, I said, I read to myself. It says, you can't plan so much for now that you forget about the future. And you can't plan so much for the future that you forget about the now. What I mean by that is, like, you're planning so much for the now. Back then with kids, you forgot about your future. Because when we have kids, everything is like now, 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 now. And we tend to forget about our future as far as uh, financial planning, right? So now you have a chance to do those things. And you can't plan so much for the future that you forget about the now. Don't put everything away that you can't live right now. So it has to be a balance of the
Hmm.
two. Planning for now and planning for later. Living for now and living for later. That's what that statement means. So let's say it again. It says, you can't plan so much for now that you forget about the future. And you can't plan so much for the future that you forget about the now. It's a balance of the two. So that's what that means.
Right,
It's having a
right.
good balance. Let me see. Oh, I love this. I love this right here. Create an emergency fund. A lot of times when you got kids, the kids are the emergency because they need stuff now. Your kids become your emergency. Need a new pair of shoes. Oh, mom and dad have this field trip. Oh, I just joined the band. Oh, I just made a football team. I'm on the AAU team. That becomes your emergency. It's an everyday life emergency when it comes to kids because they need stuff all the time. So now you got a chance to say, remember my wife was saying extra money? Guess what? Now that extra money is being reassigned to your emergency fund. Build that up. So when you have a car breaks down, flat tire, you can do those things, you know. And also you can also plan for long-term trips too. Robin wants to say
Also,
something.
your emergency fund could be that your son or daughter is needing some financial help
Yep,
right away.
that's coming. Yeah, buddy.
So even though they're adults and on their own, things do
Mhm.
happen,
Yep.
and as because they're new at it and they learning as they go along,
Yep.
they may still need a little financial boost here and there.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
you don't want them to be financially dependent on you,
Yep.
but every now and then they may need your help with an emergency or something that has come up that they weren't aware of how to handle. So build an emergency fund, even just for your kids, just in case they need it.
So what my wife just talked about is two things. It says that's the impact on kids when parents become empty nesters. So she was saying that's called increased independence. Your kids gonna find a new sense of newfound freedom and independence as they navigate life without their parents consistently around. And when that happens, what happens? Emergency happens. Things
Yep,
come
they
up.
make
Things come up.
mistakes, right?
Things come
Because
up.
they, yep, because they learning as they go along.
Right. Exactly.
You
I'm gonna
know.
go ahead and carry it into that same thing since we went on talked about kids. I know the last thing.
Can I want to add, something, then we can get to back to that, to the your finances. Um, envision, you may want to envision that you may have new expenses. So adjust your budget for new expenses, like your kids. Our kids are out of state and out of country, flying back and forth to see
Mhm.
them, hotel expenses, all of
Mhm.
that.
Yep.
Now it's just
Travel.
the two of you. I'm learning how to readjust of cooking just for two people when I've been doing
Mm.
four people for so long. Now you got to make that adjustment. So don't go eating out all the time because you're wasting your money. So adjust how you cook.
Yes,
And
Lord.
yes,
Yes.
so stop, don't eat out as often. So you have to, with your budget, you have to envision new expenses that may come up, and you have to make adjustments to expenses that you have.
Yep. Yes, because I tend to eat everything, and and my son does too when he was here. So now I'm like, it's here. This food's gonna be here from Sunday to next Sunday.
So I'm learning. I have to learn to cook for two people.
I'm like, you need to cut that in half. You're cut it down to quarters and stuff. What the world? But at the same token, I don't want to have to be cooking all the time because I don't mind leftovers. She does. So I'm like, okay, I know I gonna eat it Sunday through Tuesday. And I'm fine with it. And then if it gets to Thursday, Friday, I'm like, let me go and finish it up because I don't like wasting money. So you want to avoid those things. What she's saying, this is about learning the new found you and your wife and your spouse, your husband, and this new life of being empty nesters. So, and believe it or not,
So,
this comes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
going into the kids, so it's new for the parents, it's new for the
Oh yeah,
kids,
most
so
definitely
everybody needs to have grace for each
for each
other.
other.
it's
Yep.
it's a learning curve, so we have
Although,
to have grace for our kids,
mhm.
and our kids need to have grace for us, so
Yeah,
it's all new.
a lot of mixed emotions. It says
Hmm.
children may feel a range of emotions, but so will the parents, including sadness, loneliness, and relief as they just became empty nesters. And what happens when you have sadness and you feeling loneliness? You tend to spend. Some people tend to spend.
Hmm.
Oh, I mean, places would go out. I'm gonna go out and go shopping, and next you got this big budget of this big bill. Like, what in the world did I just do? So you got to control those emotions. You got to address them. I ain't say avoid them. Acknowledge them. Understand what you're going through, and maybe be slow in that decision making before you make the decision. As far as going out and buy a brand new car because your kid is now gone. Or go buy a bigger house, or go out and do X, Y, and Z. Make sure you have the funds for those things. Make sure you align yourself properly. Talk to your husband, talk to your wife before those things are done. And if you both
Yes.
like spending, talk to somebody else besides each other. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Well, I did talk to her. She agreed. I thought even he agreed. And you go off and do all this stuff. So if you both are spenders, you might want to have somebody pump your brakes and check yourself. So you want to make sure you have a good balance if you two are of the same, like, cut from the same cloth. Um, Anytime the kids have a increased responsibility, my wife was talking about, that may come on not just their personal lives, but also finances, because they're now trying to be independent, and they may not want to ask for anything. But you got to
Hmm.
recognize, my kid needs help. My kid needs help, and not wait till they ask for things. You may want to give them a little something. Here's $200. Thank you for being a good child, and it may be money they need right on time until they start to open up to you to say, "Hey, I'm struggling right now. Can you help me X, Y, and Z?" I'm telling you something. I'd
Because,
rather help my kid out who's trying to make it than someone who's staying at home and not trying to make it.
Right. And we have two sons, opposite ends of the spectrum. We have one son
Yes.
that he won't ask for help, even though he may need help. He's always been that way, very independent, very headstrong, so he won't ask for help. So as Elroy said, we'll just send him some money. Just say, just because we love you. Because we never know when his back up is against the wall, he'll definitely call us. But as he gonna make it on his own as far as he can go
Yeah.
before he asks, say he need help. Now the other one, if you gonna give it to him, he
He
gonna
gonna
take it.
take
He ain't
it.
gonna turn it down. The younger one, he'll turn it down every time. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Until he really need the help. The other one, he's like, you gonna give it to me? I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
take
bank it. I'm gonna bank it.
it. Yeah, he banks it.
I'm gonna bank it. Now, let me tell you what the other one did. He moved out right, and I was giving him money for helping him match his 401k. He would put in 150. I would get 150. He would put 300 into his 403 plan B. So I said, well, how soon you think you'll be able to start up your retirement package? He said, I don't know. I'm gonna get out all this stuff. I'm gonna give myself a chance to be settled, understand my bills, how much I can give. I said, then okay. I said, do you want me to stop getting you the money? He said, well, why would you do that? I said, well, you're not putting money away to 403B. He said, yeah, that's fine. I'm pretty sure I'm going to need it. So don't stop it. No sense stopping and starting again, Dad. That's a waste of time. I just said, okay, son, I won't touch it.
And then the younger one, who's very independent, is like, "Why are you giving me this? I'm taking care of it. I can do it
Yeah,
by myself. I
yeah,
can do it
yeah,
by myself."
yeah,
It's like you two.
yeah.
It's like
So,
these
yeah.
two.
But that just comes from uh, strengthen your relationships, the mixed emotions, increase
Yeah.
independence, sense of accomplishment
Right.
for the kids, and understanding where they are, and them understanding where you are too. Because it ain't all about us, it ain't all about them. It's all about all of us trying to manage this new lifestyle of being independent.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
I can say the younger one because he's been gone for 8 years. For him, be like, so what? Y'all empty nester. What's the big deal? I've been gone for 8 years, so it ain't new for him. He's been gone. It's new for us, me, my wife, and the last one. So he's like, y'all tripping. Y'all all right? Somebody need to come check on y'all. So it ain't new for him. He's going through these waves of emotions and stuff. Financial stability, need, not needing, being here, being there, and done quite well through it all.
Yes,
So
he
it's
has.
always the last that leaves they got to deal with probably the most and more directly than someone who's been gone for a long time, has gone through the rampage of uh, the, uh, the course of those emotions and responsibility. So
Right.
yeah,
And
it's a
and
lot.
it's a good thing that the oldest one was the last one to leave, because he's more nurturing. So he's sort of holding our hands and helping us through him, not even though we didn't see him often, but
Yeah.
not being able to talk to him whenever we wanted to is an adjustment. So he been holding our hands and seeing us
Oh,
through.
oh,
Now
oh
the
that young dude,
youngest one,
that like
if he
deuces.
was the last one to leave, he'd be like, y'all. Y'all figure that out and leave me out.
Y'all adults. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all wanted me to leave. Now you want to stay in contact? Make up your mind, people. Leave me alone. Stay in contact. Talk to me. Don't talk to me. Like, so he wants his space. Have your space.
Yeah.
It
So
is a different dynamic, y'all. It really
it
is.
is. It is. And so I'm going to skip down to inheritance planning. That's very important because your kids are adults now. So you can sit down and talk about your inheritance plans with them. You can do it, prepare as a family,
Yeah.
how things are going to be.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
Yep. That financial family decision and inheritance planning is key. That's something I look at a lot. As far as making sure things are in line. When we travel, we make sure the kids know if anything happened to us. Here's the information you need to have because you know X, Y, and Z. Here's what stuff is. So you won't be like, mom and dad didn't leave us a clue what things is. So no, you need to communicate to your kids where you are in life and what the expectations are to you, whether you here or you're not here, type thing. That's critical. So just letting them know, what we're doing for them now and help them grasp the concept of, okay, yeah, I can see what's going on with life and stuff. I can see what mom and dad is doing. And I can appreciate that. Doesn't mean they're going to stop doing less and depend on just us. No, continue to
Mhm.
live your life and continue to pour into yourself. Because look, I may wake up one day and say, I'm spending it all. I'm leaving y'all nothing.
Right.
You know,
Right.
or I may say,
So,
spend half of it. Who knows?
right. And as far as the inheritance planning, what I do and individually you have to decide for yourself. I make a list of every policy we have, every contact for like my husband's job, who they would need to contact to get that policy going, life insurance policies. I mean, I have it all detailed what they need to do as far as who to contact, what policies we have, what's going on. That way, if anything happens, they have that information, and it is readily available because during that time your mind is scrambled if you
Yes,
a loss
yes.
of a loved one. So to have it all spelled out, and so they're not searching for documents. And
Yeah.
I always try to keep all those documents that I have listed in the spreadsheet. I keep those documents in a safe place so they know
Right.
exactly where to go to get all the documents. And there's a spreadsheet on top to show, okay, this is what everything is and who to contact, and so they don't have to be trying to figure it out.
Right. Well, we don't want to go too much longer. We try to keep it short and brief, so you won't lot to take in. You can take notes, so we can kind of do a quick wrap up. So what we covered today was embracing the empty nesting. We talked about travel and exploring. We talked about financial planning for the empty nesters. That's us, the parents and the kids leaving. And then the impact on kids when parents become empty nesters, because there's an impact on them too. And then also talked about the financial planning as far as things you need to do, estate planning, financial planning type thing. When the kids are gone, you let them know that, hey, these things are put in place for you if anything ever happened to us. Anything you want to say to that, Rob, before we
Nope, just spend time thinking about it, talk to your kids, and have things in place, and enjoy your the rest of your life with your kids being independent.
All right. Thank you for listening to this one right here. Download, like, share, and we hope to have I hope to have we will have more for you. So stay tuned and stand by. So we continue this next round of Financeology 101 planning.
Okay, so thank you everyone, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
All right, bye.
Well, thank you for tuning in to our podcast, Financeology 101. I hope you enjoyed this session and the information provided will assist you on your financial journey. Until next time, be financially engaged.